Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1982's Midnight Spares. Check that out. 1982's Midnight Spares, the Australian Midnight Spares. Let's get into this film. You're going to see my eyes divert. Kind of like this guy's crazy eyes in the back of the movie here. You're going to see my eyes divert because I do have some notes written down. My gosh, I never heard of this film before. Never knew it existed. Did I ever see a trailer on an Ozploitation trailer reel? Maybe. Yeah, probably, right? But I guess the trailer didn't initially, punch me in the face or hit me. But then I rewatched the trailer recently and it did. Now, when you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got about 5 characters right here. These 5 characters are pinnacle characters in the film, but there are more. And if you could make a trading card of each one of these characters, this movie would be like trading, like one big cinematic collection of trading cards. These characters act as real entities in Midnight Spares. Let's get into this film here. This is pretty wild. Now, rumor has it, and it's been backed up when I did some research, that Quentin Tarantino stated that he made some comment about the trailer of Midnight Spares in relation to the Fast and Furious films, and how just the trailer of Midnight Spares is like far more exciting. You know, something along those lines. It's not verbatim, but basically that this trailer for this film was like, for this unknown film, was like so intense over all these like mainstream intense types of films, you know, action oriented types of films. Not like this is like Fast and the Furious, but the trailer has some maybe some similar worlds. Now, let's get into this. First, we have the world of chop shops. No, not Chop Top from Texas 2. Chop shops. Now, I've watched a ton of films involving pimps and ladies of the night and drugs and all of this kind of stuff. One thing I don't see much is like the nitty gritty behind the scenes of what happens after your car gets stolen and somebody takes it away and literally dismembers it for it to never exist again. And that is something that this movie offers some insight into, and it is it's pretty wild. I mean, it's done in a very authentic fashion. Like you're getting like footage of it, like some illegal footage of chop shops. You know, we have car racing in here, and this isn't like, you know, the 1950s girl in the middle of the street puts her hands up, hands down, and two, you know, hot rods, you know, go. No, this is kind of like a more guttural NASCAR, you know, a more dangerous and home built kind of NASCAR type of vibe. And it tends to be kind of like the town square. You know, this tends to be like, you know, what's happening, not just for, you know, the people of the night, but the you know, families and older people and younger people. This tends to be like the big thing. We have romance in this film, which kind of blindsided me at first. The film is hot, it's warm. Here, let me get my hair down a little bit here. Sorry. Yeah, the movie is warm. You can tell it's hot. The characters are sweating and dirty. You know, I funnily, I mentioned Texas too, but Whenever I watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, I always at the end of the movie feel like just like, oh, like not the gore. I'm talking about just like there's something about the you could almost smell it, even more than the original to me. Well, in this film, you can kind of smell some of these trading cards right here. You can smell the people, you can smell the environments. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's grimy, it's dirty, but not in the way of like an inner city, like those inner city types of drug films or pimp films, or not like that. It's more like a, it has the Australian vibe to it, and but everybody's like real rough and tumble, and people aren't like squeaky clean, you know. It's very real, it's sweaty, there's probably some BO going on here. And we have, as a pinnacle piece of the film, the search for a father, not a priest, this guy's dad. He's looking for him. And this kind of is an impetus in the film. We have a diner in the movie, which is always something special to me. I'm a fan of Tom Waits, and Tom Waits has this one live album called Nighthawks at the Diner, I believe, based on the kind of inspired by the Edward Hopper painting, but there's a bit of diner life in here as well. And one of the things I really miss about diners is that kind of late night, people are smoking cigarettes. There was a smoking and non-smoking section, but that never mattered. And there was smoke everywhere. And the food was greasy, and the plates were dirty, and it was just, so you have that, and that kind of fits into the world really well too. And this is a film, Midnight Spares is a film of characters and character stories. I mean, just like I mentioned the people and like kind of the trading cards, this is a film of characters and character stories. But I'm going to get a little bit more into that in a couple minutes. But this is a film where a crew member died on the set because of how dangerous some of the filming was and the stunts were on this film. He is mentioned in the closing credits that the film is dedicated to him, and upon some research, I realized that he died. I kind of I believe you can fact check this, but I believe kind of helping film some pretty dangerous types of scenes, because there's some pretty dangerous stuff in here, but I'll mention that later. So somebody died like on the crew, and it wasn't, the controversial type of thing as you would think for the Twilight Zone movie, but this was like, part of the experience of filming a movie like this, and whoops, you know and I mean, it was that kind of thing, and the movie went on. um it feels, and this is where the film of character and character stories comes in, it feels like you're a stranger when you watch the film, and you get thrust into the movie intimately with these people, with these characters, and you need to start making associations pretty quickly, and you have to kind of start to learn the ropes, because the movie is happening, and it's not spoon feeding you anything. You know how like certain films, even giallo films, like at the end, it's like amazing that a character all of a sudden explains everything that happens, and it's like, I'm watching a giallo film. They want me to know. But not in Midnight Spares. I mean, it is literally, they don't spare you. You are just like thrust into a group of people, and you have to spend time with these people in order to learn who these people are, and what their associations are with each other and with other people, and you have to learn about um, what they do, and who they are, and their habits and their patterns. You're just thrust in, and you have to start learning just through spending time. Um, you learn about the levels of people and kind of like almost car gangs in this film. There's a deaf character in this film who sleeps with his head in water while he's standing. There's a smelly character who farts with constant, like, just car oil all over his face and just car grime. This guy right here. And you have vans, like decked out 70s types of vans for sex. And, excuse me, you have a strip show with topless nudity and almost full nudity. But you do have a great strip show. You have girls in here who are really attractive. Um, you have guys in here who look like they could be in like a punk band or just a band or just an artist or just somebody who's doing something. That's what I meant about trading cards. And everyone has a look, and their look is really an association in a lot of ways. The music is pulsing beats, rhythm, and there's a girl. The only girl that's on the cover here is this girl right here. And she's part of the romantic vibe of the film. And it really kind of blindsided me in terms of the innocence of the romantic vibe in the film. Yes, coming of age, but also like kind of interesting in the innocent vibe of the romance in terms of the idea and the concept of marriage, which is really interesting, which you don't typically see in, kind of like a film like this. And in this film, I mean, you really have kind of vibes of, we do have Amanda Dole in here. She was the 1983 Playmate of the Year. She might be the one who's in the strip show. If she was, very attractive. Amanda Dole. As a matter of fact, that might be her right there, bending over with white panties on. But the main girl here really has kind of like a younger Christina Ricci body, thicker and just natural, just awesome. Everybody's natural, obviously, in this film. And look at this guy here. Look at these guys. But let's get into something here that's really kind of insane. And this is what deals with the crew member dying, and then also the words that Tarantino spoke about. But there are sections of this film that are absolutely bonkers, car crashing, insane car crashes, car chases, dangerously bonkers wild. Now, I've seen a lot of car films, Tarantino's Death Proof included, Vanishing Point. I mean, you have a ton of stuff. This Australian early 80s film has a small section of the most insane crap. I mean, when you realize this is all real, there's no CGI. There's real people driving these real cars, and you're trying to figure out how they are doing this and how they're not dead. Crazy. So what do you have here in Midnight Spares? First off, you're going to find out what this phrase Midnight Spares means, because I never knew. But also, you got coming of age, you got teen sex comedy, you got a crazy exploitation kind of car exploitation type of film. You have kind of a crime film, a gang film. You have a drama film, a romance film. I mean, it's all in here, and it is seeped in the bowels of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 1982's Midnight Spares. Thank you.